Hey guys, what's up? Eddie Aho here with KissAnalog.com. Today I'm going to review the meter from EEVBlog. Now this one's been out for a little bit. I think it started off in the Kickstarter program, but it's the 121GW. And yeah, this is I think it's UEI, is it? Who he worked with to put this meter out. It's ETL certified, so it's safety certified. It's a group just like UL. Just, it's just a different lab. But anyway, so Cat 3 meter. Yeah, I'm going to bring you over to the bench. We're going to show you this. Has a ton of features. It's a 50,000 count meter. As far as, I think it's a great benchtop meter. I mean, it's fairly small. You can see how small and compact it is. But it is packed full of features. And it's just a high quality meter from what I can tell. We're going to take it through some paces here and see what we think. But I don't think I'm going to be able to test all the features just because this video will be over an hour long. So, because it has some software features, it just has a lot of stuff, Bluetooth, all kinds of things. If you want to see some of those things, let me know in the comments down below what features you'd like to see. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video, especially after I've used it for a couple weeks, and I'll do another video on it, okay? But yeah, so Dave gave me this meter. It just came out of the blue, and it's blue. But no, I did a rant video about how expensive flukes are, and then he did a follow-up video trying to give some rationalization, which honestly, guys, it's all BS. It's he was being very nice and saying some stuff, and I could talk to all those points and calibration, all this kind of stuff. It's all a bunch of malarkey. There's other meters that meet all the same criteria that he brought up that cost a lot less and that are just a lot better. So anyway, I used to be a big fluke guy until I started this channel, but I just realized how expensive and how ridiculous they are, because I haven't had to buy one for many years, but I have owned them. I mean, I do have a bunch of meters. Anyway, getting sidetracked. We're going to review this meter. Let's come over to the bench, take a look at it, okay? Alright guys, so I just wanted to show you up close the EEVBlog 121GW next to their BM786 version. Now this is the same physical size as, like, say, a Fluke 179. This is 79, the older version, but yeah, same size. And the thickness of this meter, definitely thicker, you can see that. But yeah, very nice meter. Display size, a little bit smaller because it's just a little bit narrower, the meter. So you kind of see the comparison here in size. So alright, let's go ahead and, well, here, let's just turn it on so you can see. And it's got the temperature up here, just reading the temperature in my lab right now, and that's pretty nice. It has that, the internal temperatures, and you can see all the digits, really nice. Just taking it through all the different readings so you can kind of see what it has. And off, so off on both sides. Okay, back to milliamps. Alright, so let's just go on and show you the stand. It's got a nice stand, kind of like the old Fluke stands. It's got a little bit of a give because this is the silicone or rubber type boot that it's locked into place, so it kind of bends with that a little bit. So that's really nice. I like that. And you can see the ETL safety certification as well as the CE mark. And we can just take this guy off. There we go. Hey, who's this bloke? Pretty nice. Thank you, Dave, for sending me this meter. That was awesome of you. I like that boot. And there's the meter. Let's open it up. Looks like it's pretty easy. Looks like there's two screws that take off the whole back cover. Alright, let's take it off together. I loosened the screws, I think. Wow, it's got a nice suction fill. And is it going to come off? There we go. Wow, that's in there pretty good. We got 4 Duracells, and I was trying to see if these screws are captured. Hey, they are. Wow, that is awesome. They're actually captured. Is this one captured? Oh wow, that is fantastic. Love that one. There's not too many meters that do that. So you got the ribbing here and this feature in the plastic that makes this strong, and you can see how deep the wells are here. And we've got some stuff here which is covering the fuse, so as you put that in, you've got these plastic features that you can see how this long one goes right down into the groove here in the meter, so that helps voltage isolation. And that little corner right there wraps around that fuse, wraps around that current shunt, as you can see. So pretty cool. And obviously the other thing you can tell is we have the high rupture fuses. So it's really nice that the batteries are in their own compartment, separated from this, so if there is leakage, it's going to be difficult to get down into the board and cause damage. Now here's the inserts, the PEMs that we screw into, so it's metal to metal. That's really sweet. The other thing you can see is this box right here is really deep. It totally encompasses the battery compartment, and then along the edges here we're totally sealed around the fuses. So yeah, very nice construction. So by the way, I love my ratcheting Work Pro screwdriver, and it takes out a lot of these screws, but some of these are in here kind of deep, so that's when you have to pull out this kit, because you know this barrel, it's narrow but then it goes fat here, so yeah, it doesn't reach down in. So what do we got in here? And oops. So yeah, it's got all these screwdrivers in this kit, really nice and safe because we have the plastic coating. So this is really nice set to have, and this locks in place. This is kind of a knockoff of another brand that you might recognize, but yeah, these are actually pretty nice. And these are, you know, have the magnetic tip, so that's nice. It helps you reach in and grab your hardware. There we go. And let's see if I take this out without having to remove the batteries. Feels like it's stuck over here in the corner. I see a screw down there. I wonder if I have to remove that screw to get this off. Alright guys, so I finally figured it out. There's a little tab right there, and you just have to reach down with your finger and you know, maybe if I would have used a little more force it would have pulled off, but being careful, right? Oh, that guy's still in there. Alright, there we go. Take that screw out. And wow, look at that. We got some shielding. That's really nice. And look at this compartment here. Let's see how this fits in. We got this little spring right here that makes contact with this metal here right there in the corner. And this spring right there, oh, that's part of the power. So the power source is that little pad right there, and this little pad up here, with these two springs here. So yeah, those have some nice tension to them. Seems nice. And there's our board. A lot of parts in there, right? And let's see, I'll take one of those fuses out. I started backing the screw out thinking I had to take that out, but wow, you got to be careful not to break that when you try to lift the fuse out like I did. Okay. Alright guys, so let me show you the board. Try to get it so you can read some of the part numbers maybe. Here's battery next to this guy. See the silver parts on this blue thing, all the pins on both sides. This is some kind of hybrid module, looks like. I'm thinking it has memory on it. And yeah, so I'm not sure. It's got a CE rating, so yeah, I'm not sure what that guy is. The buzzer with something heat, kind of like this paste on something, this glue, epoxy stuff. Not sure what that is. But you can see these tantalum capacitors, this yellow guy and this yellow one, and that's a big diode. And you can see the pads here for the power source right here. I think these are analog muxes, some of these chips. That guy there, that one, and this one. I don't know if you can freeze that and see the part number. But yeah, this is the brains of the operation. He's got his own crystal here. He is what's giving us the 50,000 counts. Got another crystal up here. So, pretty cool stuff. I think this is another analog mux right here. More tantalum capacitors. See another one up here. And yeah, these black ones, they're tantalum capacitors as well. So instead of aluminum electrolytics, maybe one or two large ones, there's tantalum capacitors placed, you know, appropriately where they go. So you have more capacitors on this board, looks like to me. Some ceramics down here, but a lot of components, a lot of surface mount, some through-hole parts where, you know, you can see the big old MOVs right here for protection. Of course, they would have that. And some large resistors. And look at all the PTCs with the heat shrink on them. Here's our current shunt. And following that trace, it looks like there's a 1 ohm current shunt there too, depending on which mode you're in. And then our bridge rectifier for the protection for our current readings. So there's lots of protection, of course. I mean, come on, it's Dave. You see the cutout to isolate or to give more impedance between the connections here and there. And this one I know is from that. And here we go. You see this little plastic feature here? That one drops down in here. So we have the high voltage stuff. If you do have high voltage coming in, it's going to be isolated from everything else. If you have any surges coming in, you got plenty of protection. So yeah, very well built. And also you can see the ribbing here, like where the plastic, where this plastic drops in to here and creates a nice seal around there. So all the way around you can see that. Alright guys, so just to show you the box that came in. Love that no bullshit packaging. I like that. Anyway, yeah, pretty nondescript box that came in. There's a little notice here. Download the user manual. And it did come with these, what feels like silicone leads. Very nice. Very nice touch. And very grippy here with very nice caps here for your cat. Is this a cat 3? These caps are usually for cat 4, but this meter is rated for cat 3. So very nice probes. But here we are with the little threads right here so that you can screw on tips. But very sharp. Yeah, just really nice probes. And those snap on nice and tight. And also look at the strain relief. You see the little dots up here? So all the way from up here you got strain relief. See that? So that's I mean, I don't know who makes these leads, but whoever they got to make these leads for these meters did a nice job. Maybe UEI did that. They are UL listed, and they have the listing number right there. So they're rated for 10 amps, and that's pretty nice. And like I say up here, it says Cat 4 600 volts, but yeah, so that probably means Cat 3 1000 volts generally. That's what that means. So And they do have these little plugs so that if you do keep them in a container, you don't want them flattened out, you can put these back in there just to keep them round so they don't get flattened out. And I believe this is a thermocouple that came with it. I've had this out of the box for a minute, so yeah, I'm not sure, but I do feel pretty sure these are the ones. They even have the red, plus, and the minus rating. It's type K, and they have these little springy turrets that kind of swivel. Okay, get that out of that paper. So you can see how these guys kind of spin around. They're just a real nice springy type. And so yeah, nice job on the thermocouple as well. And you know, of course, it's just a little bead here on the end. These are the kind of things that I think Fluke's prices are $50 for one of these with the meter. That's crazy. I've seen them on sale for $25, but $50 is absurd. $25 is nuts. Alright, so let's check some resistance. Now, first of all, here is the tolerance table. You can kind of see up to 50 ohms is 1 milliohm resolution, 0.5% plus 20 digits. Alright, so what does that mean? That means at 10 ohms, it can be 10.05, I think. Is that right? 10.05 or 9.95. Okay, so let's see. Here's a 10 ohm. All right, and look at that. 10.0. Well, wait just a moment, and look at that. Whoa. That is pretty darn accurate, right? And that's these. This thing says plus minus 0.05. So, yeah, that's what these things are. Just supposed to be high accurate. They're from General Radio, Concord, Massachusetts, in the U.S. Pretty nice post, but anyway, that's 10 ohms. Okay, 100 ohms. At 100 ohms, we're supposed to have 0.3% plus 5 digits. So 5 digits means this guy right here could be, so you can go up and down 5 digits here. But anyway, you can tell this is pretty darn accurate. Okay. Now let's try the 10K. Wow. That's crazy. I mean, all those digits. So 10K can be 0.2%. It's getting, now after that, most of them are 0.2% plus 5 digits. So this digit here can go up or down 5 digits. So that's obviously well within spec. All right, guys, video kind of messed up and I lost out on this reading of the 100K. So let's do this 100K guy. This meter, I did some temperature readings, and this is great that it did this because I wanted to point out something. I love it. It remembers the last thing you did, and so it's when you power up, it goes to, if I go to this setting here where it has ohms, diode, capacitor, and continuity, it'll go back to the last thing I was doing, which was continuity. So I just think that's great because, you know, sometimes, like say for instance diode, maybe when I go here I want to check diodes all the time, and it just remembers the last thing you did. So I guess it's okay. There we go. There's 99.89K. There we go, 99.9. So that's 100K, and that's pretty darn good. That's yeah, this is, you know, I'm glad I found these in my storage because, you know, for these videos, if you guys like that, let me know. Comment down below if you like me going through things like this. Some people talk about accuracy all the time, and I think that these meters with the logic, you know, the chips sets that they have today, they're very accurate. It's not like the old days where, you know, they really counted on having certain components like resistors and that to set the accuracy. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, okay? All right, and this is my 6 meg resistor, and look at that, pretty darn nice. All right, so now Dave's famous continuity check. This guy here is ohms, diodes, capacitor, and continuity. So that looks like continuity, I guess. I saw the little buzzer up there. There's the diode symbol, and that's auto capacitors, see, nanofarads. Back to ohms, and back to continuity. This kind of thing I think is crazy when they do this, but just purposefully touch. Yep, nice continuity tester. And not only does it make the sound, but it tells you the ohms as well. Alright, so temperature right here on the red, so it's at C, millivolts, hertz, back to C, 22.9, 23, and internally it's 23.2, and then we can put our thermocouple in there for actual temperature readings. Put the plus in the plus, red dot, plus the little plus symbol. Kind of nice. If you put it in backwards, I'll show you that in a moment just so you can see. Look, 22.3. And if I touch it, temperature goes up. It's just like it should, right? Okay, now check this out. If you put it in backwards, it's not going to damage your meter or anything like that. But you get weird readings. You'll know that they're way off, and look, the temperature goes down when it should be going up. So that's when you know it's backwards. Alright guys, I hooked up this fluke. He's the one that came with those crummy leads, and even though this is made in Asia, you know, they still can't offer it at a decent price. This should be a $40 or $50 meter instead, you know, of what it is. Anyway, that's another rant, I guess. But now look, there's 4,000 count meter. Now watch what happens. We lose decimal point. They'll usually go past their rating before they drop down. But see how it drops down? That's what you call 4,000 count meter. And a 6,000 count meter would do that at 6 volts instead of 4. But this is a 50,000 count meter. So look at all those. It's ridiculous. Look how many places we have resolution. And there we go. We drop down. But we still have 3 places resolution. Isn't that nuts? I'm just going to take it up to the max this power supply. I think it goes 60 volts. So let's see what happens. Now you notice the lightning bolt, and there's a little lightning bolt here. That says that we're over, you know, we're in dangerous voltage. Now what I want to show you is the bar graph. Set right there, and I'll just go back and forth the voltage, and you can see how fast the bar graph is. I'm just scrolling back and forth with the knob. You compare both meters. Alright, there's another feature I wanted to show you. It's just a hold feature, right? You can hold a voltage like that. And you can hold something like that on the fluke, right? Now, I'm going to change the voltage, dropping it, and it holds the voltage, right? You can see the bar graph move a little bit though, right? So it's interesting. You can watch the bar graph go up so you know the voltage is changing, but it holds the voltage, right? Okay, now I can hold this down for the auto hold. Okay, and it says auto hold my, okay, here, let's just play with that and see. So I'm increasing, nothing changes. Now I decrease, and it changes. Now waits a moment to make sure the voltage change, but now here, I'm going to go back up. You can see the bar graph moving, and then it goes. So that's the auto hold, right? That's what, you know, some flukes have, some don't. Like, you know, a lot of them don't now, but they just have the hold. So yeah, you have to, You know, some people say, well, I like the fluke hold function, but you got to remember which fluke it is you're talking about. The lower cost flukes, even though they're expensive, don't auto hold. So this does have the auto hold feature. Now the other thing it has, okay, the other thing it has is min max. So there's max, min, and average, and then on max, average. So I can move this around. You can watch the bar graph move around. Okay, and then I can go through this, and it shows me the different readings. So that's pretty nice, right? But it also has, the other feature this meter has is it has this 1 millisecond peak hold. So that's pretty cool. So it'll capture peak readings. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot of features this meter has. Has a Bluetooth feature setup. You can do a whole bunch of different things on your setup. There's a lot of things to go on this. I mean, the 15 volt diode function is just crazy. So I always thought 5 volts on meters was high. A lot of meters like this one, I believe, you know, there's just a lot of meters that go at 2 volts, and then some go to 3 or 5 volts. But 15 volts is just incredible. So that's pretty darn cool. The other thing it has is low Z. So, you know, for phantom or ghost voltages, if you got cables that you're reading voltages on, you're making sure there's no voltage or whatever, and they're bundled with some other wires that are carrying current, they can induce a voltage on the other cables, making it look like they have a current or a voltage on them. So if you put in low Z mode, I think it puts 3 kilo ohms of resistance so that it'll dissipate that energy and you get an accurate reading. And I'm still reading the volts up here, obviously. So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of features in this meter. It's just incredible. It's got the hertz plus the milliseconds duty cycle. So just a lot of really cool stuff. Again, it remembers the last feature you're on when you go to you know, whichever one you go to, like say if you're in temperature and you're doing millivolts, it just remembers the setting you like, or at least you use last. And then this one also has this volt amps, which is really cool. So you can read a current and a voltage, and it'll tell you your VA. And of course, the other thing Dave's famous for is a low burden voltage. So you know, whenever you're reading current, like say 500 milliamp range, that or microamp range, there's a certain amount of resistance in there so that you can pick up a voltage and read the current, and that's called burden voltage. And this has a low burden voltage, so another really nice feature. And then, you know, obviously you got a memory, so it stores, you know, data. So you got a memory function, and you got the relative, you know, so that if you are, let's say you're charging a battery and it starts off 12.2 and you want to come back later and see how high it's charged, you can hit the relative, it zeroes it out, and then it keeps track of the voltage from 12.2 on up or down if you're discharging. So yeah, relative is a handy feature to use for different kinds of things. Just lots of features in this meter, and this review would go a long time if I was to do all that. But one thing I do want to point out, if you're in volts in your AC mode, it is a dual display. So not only do you get a bar graph, 50,000 count, but also you read hertz at the same time as you're reading your voltage, which I really like dual display meters. I think they're just invaluable. You just don't have to reach up. You might not even be thinking about your hertz, but you look up and you happen to see that it's off or it's changed or something, and you go, oh man, I'm glad I was looking at that. So just lots of cool features in this. Let me know, comment down below what features you'd like to see. If you'd like to see a follow-up review, where I go into detail, maybe use the Bluetooth, the setup. I can just hit the setup and kind of show you some of the things, but there's the battery, you know, there's automatic power on, beeper off on, LCD screen. There's just, I think 2016 is the last software update. I think that's what that tells me. So a lot of these I don't even know what they are. So if you want me to, you know, after I read the manual, figure out the setup, use the Bluetooth and some of these other features, let me know what you'd like to see, okay? Alright, I thought I'd just show you, this is a 6.8 millifarad cap, pretty big cap, so just thought I'd show you, you know, how long it takes to read a large capacitor like this. I've noticed you know, number of meters I've looked at on the larger caps like this, it does take a moment. You got to hold it. There you go. So I don't know, it's probably less than a minute, but it does take a little time to charge up some of these big caps. All right, guys, I have this capacitor box from Cornell Dubbler, and it has some capacitors. I think they're electrolytics in here, 450 volts, 10, 20, 40, and 80. So they're kind of old caps, but here, let's give it a go. That's 10 microfarads. And yeah, this meter is not super fast capacitors. There's 10. I'll add another 20. That'll be 30. Okay, that was pretty fast. Then I add another 40. Well, okay, so those are fast. It was just that first one. And then we'll do an 80. Okay, so that's 120, 140, 150. And it's giving us 186. And I'm not sure, you know, how accurate these caps are. I'm sure they're not super accurate. This is an old box, but yeah, there's kind of the way it reads capacitors. There's 80. There's 40. And that's 20. And there's 60. So yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. That first one was kind of slow for some reason, but yeah, there we go. So there's capacitor readings. Alright, I brought the Fluke back, put it in capacitor mode. Let's just see how fast it is and how... Okay, so they are reading high, it looks like. And turn them all up. This one is what, 180 something, and 197. I think it's 188. So, all right. So yeah, these capacitors are reading a bit high. So there's the 80. There's the 40 by itself. And that's the 20 by itself. And there's the 40 and 20. It looks like some of those readings, if my memory serves, they're fairly close to this one. But anyway, there we go. Okay, you know what? Maybe I will just do a couple diodes just to show you. Okay, that's in diode setting. Just so we can see if it reads out voltage, which I'm pretty sure it does. It does, and that's very fast, 0.11. These are Shockies, I believe. 0.15. Yeah, so let's see what else we have here. There we go. Alright, well, there's some diodes. Oh, you know what? I had this big bridge rectifier too. Let's see. Not sure. There we go. There's 0.5 and 0.5 on that one. So yeah, that's two of the diodes in there. Hey guys, so what do you think? Pretty cool meter? Should I give it another review? I think I will. I think I'm going to go through the functions, use it on the bench here for a bit, and then I'll do some of these more advanced features and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, let me know you kind of testing you like to see, and you know, or in the future what kind of testing you like to see me do when I do these reviews. But yeah, I reviewed this one that Dave gave me. He gave me these 2 meters after that ramp review. Just, yeah, I thought it was super cool that he even saw my video, and then even cooler that he sent me 2 meters. I mean, that was super nice of him. And I'm just glad that they're nice meters, and I'm happy with them, because now this one's just under $200 on Amazon. It's a great deal. I mean, I have this older Fluke 79, or this is the 79.3, but and then now they have the 79.4, I believe it is, which they added a couple more buttons here. Still, it's nowhere near as feature rich as this meter, and this I think, you know, even if they're equal cost and equal features, I just like the way this is built. So, but anyway, let me know what you think. If you've got this meter, I know some people have bought that meter. That one is on Amazon. I'll have the link below, and appreciate using those links because it's a free way to support the channel. That's kind of cool. This one here, I did not find it on Amazon, but you can buy it from Dave, and I think it's like on sale. I think this one Dave has on sale on his website right now for, I believe it was 285 Australian. So, you know, that's where I'd go for this one because I didn't see it on Amazon. It could be on eBay. I'll check. If I found it, there'll be a link down below. Hey, I want to give 2 thumbs up to my patrons and 2 big thumbs up to Dave Jones for sending me these meters. Super cool. Thanks, Dave. And you did a great job. I like these meters. Now, I did hear some things about this meter, but you know, this was a Kickstart program. It's gone through some generations, and I think there's even a newer software update that I got to use on this, so I'll have to do that as well. Maybe that'll be in the second video. But yeah, thanks for everybody watching the videos. Giving the video a thumbs up is really big for YouTube analytics. It helps support the channel for free, and using the links down below, you can do that as well. And then also there's a link down below to become a Patreon, and also there's next to the like button, there's a thank you button. You can buy a cup of coffee. You know, that kind of support to the channel. So appreciate you guys watching the videos and supporting and commenting. Let me know what you guys think, okay? Just say hi. Alright? I do actually go down to the subscribers first and try to answer those, and then I go back and I try to hit as many people as I can. So, hey, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.